Hilarious picture book from #1 best-selling David Walliams. The Creature Choir. Illustrated by Tony Ross. David Walliams presents The Creature Choir. Illustrated by the artistic genius Tony Ross. Warble was a walrus who loved to warble. She warbled on the ice. Boom, boom, boom. She warbled underwater. Blurb, blurb, blurb. She warbled all day and all night. Warble's dream was to warble all over the world, and maybe one day even take part in the Great Big Animal Talent Show. There was just one teeny-weeny problem. The sound she made was absolutely shocking. Whenever Warble warbled, seals scarpered, plop, bears bolted, dash, and penguins pegged it, flutter. Warble warbled so loudly that the ice sheet would shatter, crack, splosh, plunging her huddle of walruses into the freezing cold sea. Icebergs would explode, bang, pelting everybody with ice cubes, bish, bash, bosh. The huddle couldn't take any more. The biggest, fattest one bellowed, "No more warbling, Warble." "But," she pleaded. "No buts. When you warble, it is awful." "But warbling makes me happy. Please can I warble some more?" "No!" The whole huddle joined in the chorus of no's, except one. Warble's friend, the littlest walrus, stuck up for her. "But Warble loves to warble. She lives to warble. Warble must warble." "No, no, no, no." Not warbling made Warble sad. One morning the sun was shining, and Warble just couldn't help herself. Warble warbled like never before. Boom, boom, boom! Warble warbled so loudly she caused an avalanche. Whoosh! Everybody was buried in deep, deep snow. The avalanche was the final straw. That night, while Warble was warbling in her sleep, the huddle made their escape. "No one make a sound," hissed the biggest, fattest one. "Now follow me." "Where on earth are we going?" asked the littlest one. "As far away from Warble as we can go, the Antarctic." "But—" "Son, I said follow me." They all tip-flippered across the ice, and one by one plopped into the water. Plop, plop, plop. The littlest one took a last look at his friend. "Never stop warbling, Warble," before disappearing off into the inky sea. When Warble woke up the next morning, she was all alone on the ice. "Hello?" she called out sorrowfully. "Is anybody there?" Silence. Now all she had to keep her company was her warble. So Warble warbled, "Boom, boom, boom." Her warble was heard miles away by a moose. He too was all alone, having been abandoned by his herd for his monstrous mooing. On hearing Warble's warble, he began to moo. "Moo, moo, moo." He galloped across the ice to find her. They sang their hearts out. "Bom, bom, moo, moo, bom, bom, moo, moo." The duet was heard miles away by another lonely creature, a snorting snow hare. "Oh my goodness, they sound even more horrendous than me," she snorted. The snow hare's thunderous snorts had sent her drove of hares fleeing. She bounced towards the pair to join them. "Boom, moo." They sang together. They were now a trio. But not for long. Soon, so many creatures joined them that it was a choir, the Creature Choir. All animals were welcome. Warble never ever said no to anybody. The sound the Creature Choir made was nothing short of atrocious. But their joy when they sang together was a thing of wonder. The smiles on their faces could light up all the dark. Just as Warble had dreamed, her choir began performing all over the world. They sang in forests, where they toppled tall trees. Dunk! They sang on mountain tops, triggering thunder and lightning. Kaboom! And they sang in deserts, starting sandstorms. Whoosh! Still the choir grew bigger and bigger and bigger.
Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum.
The creature choir sang all around the world. Now Warble thought they were ready for the Great Big Animal Talent Show. This year it was happening at the Antarctic. On the day the choir arrived for the competition, all the creatures became nervous. They only sang for the joy of it, not because they thought they were the best. They knew they were the worst. So they looked on with trepidation as an elephant seal sang opera, and a king penguin delighted all the animals with a selection of show tunes. Finally, it was the creature choir's turn. Warble calmed everyone's nerves by telling them, "Don't worry about being good or bad. Just sing and be happy." They all nodded and began.
Bum, 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 bum. Chip, 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 bum, chip, bum, 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 bum,
The smiles on their faces delighted everyone, even if the noise they made was, dreadful. So dreadful that the choir caused a colossal wave, whoosh, which swept the audience of animals off the ice. Splosh! Among those clambering back on, Warble spotted some familiar, if wet, faces. Her huddle of walruses. When the creature choir finally finished their song, there was silence. Then the littlest walrus began clapping, before all the walruses rose to their flippers and burst into wild applause. The whole crowd went wild. Woo! 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 There was no question about it. The creature choir were the winners of the Great Big Animal Talent Show. Hooray! "We've so missed you and your warbling warble," said the littlest one. "I am so sorry we left you all alone," said the biggest, fattest one, a tear welling in his eye. "Please can we join your creature choir?" The whole huddle smiled hopefully, and all eyes turned to Warble. "Yes!" she cried. Warble's favourite word was spelled out in the sky by all the creatures. All the other walruses warbled worse than Warble. No matter.
bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum.
All that did matter was that they were happy.